welcome back, guys. We're back with another one, and this one's gonna be different. This is gonna be completely different. So you can see I got my dryer in front of us and the body of my washer. Now that's because my washer, I saw it leak a little, and I need to find where it's leaking from. I had it outside, but then um, I couldn't find where it was leaking from. I couldn't find any spots, any signs of leakage. But it did leak while it was inside the house. I checked the hoses, nothing is broken, nothing is leaking. So um, I took the body off of it and I just threw it back on, and I've tested already twice and still no leak. So before I did all of this, I consulted with my with a friend of ours, and who's a really good technician when it comes to dryers and washers. I would consider him an expert on these, and I immediately asked him, "Hey, what can I do?" So he said, "Take the body off of it, throw it back on, and test it." Tested twice, no leaks. And then he's like, "Okay, when you do you do it with when it leaks or when it leaked? Did it have a big load or small load, whatever?" So he wants me to replicate what had happened without this on it. So that's what I'm going to be doing. Um, yeah. And then my dryer went out. I mean, it what happened to it was that it was not warming up, it was not heating up. So it would work, it would do its work, but it wouldn't heat. I mean, you could put your hand on this, everything around, it was still cold. It was not heating up. Then after doing my test, I found out that it was the timer. And now I'm going to show you guys how I got to that in just a second. Now I got the Malibu outside, and you're probably wondering how the heck, if the car was right here, how the heck did I manage to put it over there without turning it on? Well, I got these wheel dollies. These not wheel dollies, tire dollies. I don't know how they're really called right now, but they're dollies, and it basically grabs onto your tires, as you can see. It grabs onto the tires, and then you just hit that foot pedal right there, and it raises the car at the wheel. So when it raised it up just enough, that's when I was able to just, with the help of my dad, we pushed it out, and then after it got to about this level right here, that's when we pushed it to the side. Obviously, the brightest way or the smartest way to push it to the side is through the wheels. Don't push through here, you're gonna bend this. If you're a big heavy guy like me, you most likely will bend this. Same thing at the quarter panel back there. Just push on the wheels or on the tire, and it worked like magic. I mean, barely any effort, I was able to push it over. So yeah, I mean, these things are really cool. I don't remember what I paid for them. It came with this cart. Actually, no. I think I bought the cart separately. But anyways, with the cart, it saves you space. I mean, they just mount on top of it, and then you can just, what I normally use is hide it back over there, and it doesn't take up space. So yeah, I have these over here because, well, if I want to bring my Ford really close, I don't have to worry about the wheel, coming too close to that and damaging my own Explorer wheels or anything like that. But yeah, so I do have work to do on my Explorer. I'm gonna do that after showing you guys this. I do have the upper control arms. I do realize I do have to replace my tie rods. Not the outer. The outer tie rods are fine. but the inner tie rods are the ones that need to be looked at and most likely replaced. And I do have to do the rear sway bar bushings. I noticed that the other day I was driving down my own dirt road here, and when I got to the point over there where I meet the actual road, I was stopped, and I heard this vibration coming from the back, and the only thing that can vibrate like this would be a suspension part, and my head tells me it's the rear sway bar bushings, because the rear sway bar end links are really tight. I did check them, they're tight, but the only thing I cannot see from like the bottom of the vehicle or from the side is the sway bar end bushings, as those are the only two that I cannot see because they're so covered up. That it's a little bit of a hassle to get to them, but it shouldn't be difficult to replace them. Yeah. So anyways, back to this over here, back to the dryer. As you can see, I got the back cover taken off. It only has 9 bolts, and these are the 9 bolts right here. They're really small. They use a 1/4-inch socket, and I mean a 1/4 inch, not because of the drive, but because it's actually, so you can see right here, it's a 1/4 inch. Hopefully you can see it on the camera, and hopefully you guys like what I'm doing. I got the camera strapped to my head. So yeah, it has 9 bolts all around, 3 here, 3 on this side, 3 on this side, and then it just comes back out. And then we also have these wires taken off from here, and I'll show you where all of them go together. Yeah, I think my phone just rang. Let me see. Okay, so back to this. Yeah. Now, I did ask what could cause for the dryer to stop heating, and he was telling me, my friend was telling me, that if you have a lot of lint covering this whole exit right here, then if it clogs up, it will stop heating. Because if this gets too hot right here, apparently it will shut it off. This is a thermostat, and I believe that's a thermostat and a fuse right here. And he said the first thing that goes off or breaks is the fuse if this were clogged. But mine was not clogged. Mine wasn't clogged at all. And we have a thermostat over here, a thermostat here. I think that's another thermostat. And right here is the power to the forgot the name of this part right here. I'll put it on the video. I mean, I forgot the name of it. And obviously these are the wires going to the timer, and power wire right here. Yeah, so you got to test all of these. The thing is, how do you test them? That's what's really important to know, because you're not really just gonna go see if you're getting power or anything like that. You need to know continuity. You need to find out whether your connections here have continuity, and not really the wire itself. We're looking for continuity on the actual parts. So these thermostats here, I believe these are 3 different thermostats. The fuse, and right here at this part, which I can't remember the name of, and obviously the timer. But let me just show you how we set it up. You gotta use the ohms readings. So he says they put it on 20K, and then we're gonna pull off the connections here. Just go one by one, and then for this one, it's very simple. Before we try it out, let me just show you what you need to be looking for. Continuity, this thing does not want to stay in place. Continuity is simple. If you close the circuit, you get a reading on the multimeter. If it's open circuit, it's just going to stay on 0L. Simple as that. 0L. Again, close the circuit, you get a reading. You see, if I move it, it gives a different reading. If I leave it still, it stays on 0. That means it's a good circuit. If it's not closed, you'll get that. So let's go over here and do this. So it doesn't matter which wire you put on the top or the bottom. The idea is to close the circuit. So if we have a closed circuit, we get a 000 reading. If I move it around, I might be able to get, it stays on 0 if I move it around. But if it were an open circuit, it would give me that. But this is working, so that means this part right here is good. As you can see, it's got a 000 reading. So you do the same thing on every single one of them. Make sure you put the wires back to where they're supposed to be at. Okay? And we're not going to be testing the wires themselves. We're going to be testing the parts. That's what he was telling me to do. So I'm just following his orders. He pretty much already knew what was wrong with the dryer, because he's worked on these a whole lot. I mean, a whole lot. And he tells me these are the best dryers and washers there are, because the style, not the brand, not the model, the style of the dryers and the washers. These classic style ones are the best ones on the market, not the new ones that are very fancy, very expensive, and very smart looking. I'm gonna have to leave it on my leg here. But now let's go over to get the part. So this part, this timer, yeah, I don't have. I'll tell you why I had this little screw taken off. I was having trouble getting this connected off. This is this one right here. So I was having a hard time getting this off. I even got to the point where I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna break this little tab. I broke it off, and that's how I was able to get it off. So it's basically like you put it in, and if you ever have to take it off, you gotta break it. Simple as that. And I thought by taking this screw off and taking this other one was going to be helpful, but no. No sir, no sir. Anyways, how does this go in there? It's simple. This tab and this space here and this space here go to this tab up here and this tab. So it basically goes like that. It's pressed in. It doesn't go with any screws or anything like that. It's just pressed in that spot. I'm not going to press it in, and here's why. This one right here was a pain to get it off. I had to go in with this. So it was, let me try to replicate this. It was like this, and I had to somehow get in there. And as you can see, I can barely see what I'm doing, because I can barely see where that tab is. The thing is, I had to squeeze these right here. So it's got a tab at the top and at the bottom. You have to squeeze them, and then at the same time pull on this to come off. The top one was easy, but this one was, Anyways, how do these wires go? There's a bunch of wires here. So you already know this one goes to here. This green one's like a neutral or ground or secondary ground. It goes right here. It doesn't really matter if you put it like this or you put it like this. The idea is that it needs to be there. And then you got these other ones. There's big connectors, one with 4 wires and one with 3. The 4 wire goes right here, and the 3 wire goes over here, like that. Okay. Now, this one is the one that had the wires or the connectors that needed to be tested on the timer. So he was telling me, look for the big red and black wire. Obviously, there's a black wire here, but it's smaller than this other big one. There's no other red wire, so the red wire was easy. So he said, you need to test, unplug it, and test the lead where the red wire goes to versus the black wire. So red to black. Let me go get this. And it doesn't matter if it's disconnected from everything else. The idea is that it should be a closed circuit. Let's see if I can just lay it there. Okay. The idea is that it needs to be one closed circuit. So hopefully this thing doesn't fall. And here we go. Okay, it moved. Sorry about that. Let's see if I can just put it like here. Yeah, it's probably better. So black to this one, red to that one. And as you can see, it's not giving me a reading. And just in case somebody says, oh, you're just supposed to put the red one to the red and the black to the black. Well, here you go. Red and black. Still nothing. No readings. Which means it's an open circuit. Which means that's where the problem is. Because I did check everything else. And I'm not going to go check everything here with you right now. But this is the reason why my dryer is not drying. It's not really heating up. So if you have this problem, and I'm not saying you will, because it could be different in your case, because you might have a different dryer. So what I did was I looked at a website that sells dryer, washer, refrigerator parts, even microwave parts, I think. And this is like a whole different, you know what I mean. So I went in there and I put in this part number, W1043638. They don't have this part. So apparently this part is not available. So they're making other parts that are functional just like this one with different part numbers and all that. So then the one on that website was like around, I think it was $100 for a very similar model, different part number obviously, different manufacturer also, and it was the same connectors. Everything was very similar. The whole thing right here is similar. It's just different part number, but the price was like $100. I believe it was $100. I would be putting a screenshot of it here, and then I went to eBay and I put the same part number. Same thing happened. They don't have the same part number, but they have similar parts that are just like this one with the same connections and everything. So I found one for $65. Yeah, it was like $64.95, something like that. So I bought that one, and I bought also a 3-year protection plan for this because, well, I don't want this to break. I mean, you know, just in case the new one breaks in less than a year or in less than 2 years. I did pay $65 for it, The warranty for the part that I just bought only is about 30 days of warranty. So warranty sucks on that. So I was like, nah, I need to get some kind of warranty for that part because it is $65, and I would hate to go through this again in the next 2 years and have to pay another 65 or 70 or $80 for the same part again. So I went ahead and got that production plan for an extra $8. So it turns out I did pay like close to $80 with taxes. Um, and it's got warranty on it. I don't know if the website that I did look at first, I don't remember if it has any warranty on these parts. If it does, well, I'll put it here on screen also. But yeah, that's how I figured out what was going on. I did order the part and I should be getting it in the next few days. Um, but yeah, and it's the same thing. If you guys have this go bad or any other things down here go bad, even this part right here, which I still don't remember the name. If it goes bad, you can also go into that same website. I'll put the website down below. I am not sponsored by them, just so you know. So I'm not getting paid for telling you all this info. So if that were the case, just go in there. You should be able to find the part number. If not, you can just put the model of this dryer. Let me. Where's the? Maybe down here. Let's see. No. No. Where's the part number for this one? The model number. Model number for this washer. I don't know if it's this there. No. I don't know what this is for. Anyways, I'm not sure where the model number for this one is. I just know it's an Admiral. And it also is the same body style for a Whirlpool. Because he was telling me that Admiral is made by Whirlpool. I don't know where the model number of this thing is. It could be underneath, but I'm not gonna flip that over. Anyways, guys, but that's how it is. That's how it works. I'm waiting for the new part. When the new one comes in, I will give you guys a video of me putting it on, closing this whole thing up, and doing a test run and see if it works. Yeah. So yeah, I mean, sometimes it can be simple, just like this right here, but these simple parts might actually be expensive sometimes. Now, I do realize these are old, like very old washers and dryers, but man, they work. They work, and one of the things that he was telling me about these old classic style dryers and washers is that they are very, very well built. The new ones have so much going on in them that sometimes the price for the repair might be too expensive, and people actually prefer to simply replace the washer and dryer. In my opinion, if you were to buy a new one, the new style with like smart features that tells you on the phone that the washer is done or the dryer is done, stuff like that, like Samsung washer and dryers. If you're gonna buy those, I'm not an expert, but I'll recommend you to get like a really good warranty on them. If you have to pay extra, pay extra. Because a friend of mine here locally had bought brand new Samsung washer and dryers, and the washer went out in just 2 years of owning the brand new washer. And it's not the steel one like this one. It's the aluminum one. It's got like aluminum parts rather than steel parts, make them, sort of lighter, more efficient. The thing is, it only lasted 2 years before it broke, and they only had, I think it was like 2-year warranty also on their purchase, but it went out like a month after the warranty expired. So yeah, you can imagine their reaction. But anyways, just you know, this is a suggestion. Just keep the old style. They look ugly. They're not the best looking ones on the market, but they'll do the job. They'll work.